He didn't know that a single act of kindness, on a rainy night that smelled of wet earth and loneliness, would change everything he thought he knew about love, loss, and second chances. Daniel Reed never planned to stop that night, not when his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, was asleep in the back seat, and not when his heart still ached from the past he couldn't fix. But fate has a strange way of finding those who've already lost everything. The rain had been coming down for hours, a steady rhythm against the windshield as Daniel drove home from his late shift at the auto repair shop. His hands gripped the steering wheel, eyes heavy but focused. Life had been a blur since his wife, Emily, passed away 2 years ago, a car accident that had turned his world upside down. Since then, Daniel's days revolved around two things: work and Lily. He was a father, a mother, and a broken man trying to hold himself together. As he turned onto a narrow road line with trees bending in the wind, he spotted something, or rather, someone. A woman stood at the edge of the road, drenched from head to toe, clutching her arms around herself. Her hair was plastered to her face, and she seemed to be crying. For a split second, Daniel thought about driving past. He had a child in the car, and picking up strangers at night wasn't exactly smart. But something inside him, maybe the ghost of the man he used to be, made him slow down. He rolled down the window halfway. "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?" The woman lifted her head. Her eyes were red and swollen, and for a heartbeat, Daniel could see the depth of her pain, the kind that mirrored his own. "Please," she whispered through the rain, I just need to get away." Daniel hesitated, then looked at Lily in the back seat, sleeping soundly. He sighed and unlocked the passenger door. "Get in. You'll get sick out there." She slipped into the car, shivering. The smell of rain and faint perfume filled the air. "Thank you," she said, her voice trembling. "My name's Anna." "Daniel," he replied, glancing at her before pulling back onto the road. "You from around here?" She shook her head. "No. Just passing through." They drove in silence for a while. The only sound was the hum of the tires on wet asphalt and Lily's soft breathing. Daniel could feel tension radiating off Anna, fear, sadness, something else she wasn't saying. When he offered her his jacket, she took it without looking at him. Her hands were shaking. He wanted to ask what had happened but didn't. Sometimes, silence was kinder. After a few minutes, Anna spoke softly. "Do you believe people meet for a reason?" Daniel looked at her briefly, surprised by the question. "I used to," he said. "Not so sure anymore." Anna smiled faintly, eyes glistening with tears. "Maybe you should be." He didn't understand what she meant until much later, until that night became the beginning of something neither of them could have predicted. By the next morning, the rain had stopped. Daniel offered Anna the couch for the night, and when he woke up, he found Lily sitting beside her, showing her drawings and giggling. It was the first time he'd heard that laugh, that pure, carefree sound, in months. Anna made breakfast, insisting it was the least she could do. She moved quietly, almost cautiously, as if afraid of taking up too much space. Daniel noticed the bruise on her wrist when she reached for the pan, but he didn't ask. He didn't have to. He'd seen that look before, in the mirror, in grief counseling rooms, in people who had been hurt by life and love. Over the next few days, Anna stayed. She helped around the house, played with Lily, and for the first time since Emily's death, Daniel felt something shift inside him, a warmth he'd buried long ago. He found himself looking forward to the sound of Anna's laughter, the way she hummed softly while washing dishes, how she listened when he talked about Emily and didn't pity him. But one evening, when he returned home early from work, he found Anna outside, staring at the horizon with tears streaming down her face. In her hands was a photo, a man and a little boy. "Who's that?" Daniel asked gently. She hesitated, then said, "My husband. And my son. They're gone." Her voice cracked, and Daniel felt his heart break for her. "There was an accident," she continued. "I was driving, and I lost control. I lived. They didn't." Daniel didn't speak. He simply stepped forward and pulled her into his arms. She didn't resist. They stood there, two broken souls holding each other, the weight of the past pressing down, yet somehow, it felt lighter that night. As Lily fell asleep between them on the couch, Daniel realized that maybe, just maybe, they were both meant to find each other. Not to replace what they'd lost, but to remind one another that life could still offer moments of grace after all the pain. Weeks turned into months. Anna began working at the local diner, saving up to start over, while Daniel continued at the garage. The three of them became a strange little family, not perfect, but whole in a way neither thought possible again. Then one morning, Anna received a letter. Daniel saw the look on her face before she even opened it: fear, dread, finality. "What is it?" he asked. She took a deep breath. "My past. It's catching up." Her ex-husband hadn't been dead. He'd been in prison. The man she thought gone forever was now free and looking for her. That night, Anna disappeared. Daniel searched everywhere, called the police, asked around town, drove through every road they'd ever taken together. He refused to believe she'd just left without a word. Days turned into weeks. Lily asked about her every night, and each time, Daniel said, "She'll be back." But his heart began to doubt it, until one day, a letter arrived in his mailbox. "Daniel, you saved me that night. You and Lily reminded me that life could still be kind. But I had to leave before my past could hurt you. You once said you didn't believe people meet for a reason. I think we do, to remind each other that love still exists, even in its simplest form. Please tell Lily I love her drawings. And thank you for giving me back a reason to live." Anna. Daniel stood in silence, tears falling onto the page. He didn't know if he'd ever see her again, but something inside him had changed forever. Years later, as he watched Lily graduate high school, a familiar voice called his name from behind. He turned, and there she was, standing under the same kind of soft rain as the night they met.